Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to list 5 things you didn't know about Wolverine. Let's get right into it. The film X-Men introduced the superhero Wolverine in 2000, and it took the world by storm. He'd long been one of the most popular characters in modern comic books, but the movie cemented his cool and savage persona. He became the breakout hit of the X-Men film series and got his own trilogy spin-off from the main series, always played to perfection by Australian actor Hugh Jackman. Sadly, Hugh Jackman has said that the 2017 movie Logan will be his last time portraying the character, so he'll be leaving the iconic hero behind him. With Logan getting critical acclaim and making big box office bucks, let's review some things you might not know about Wolverine in the movies. Number 1. The first choice. Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine. It's difficult to imagine anyone else playing the brooding mutant, but that's where we'll begin, because Hugh Jackman wasn't the first choice to play the character in the first X-Men film. He wasn't even the second option. Nope, Jackman came in third place. Russell Crowe, best known for his roles in Man of Steel and Gladiator, was director Bryan Singer's first choice for Wolverine. Crowe declined the role due to creative differences. According to the singer, he preferred to play Wolverine completely bald rather than with peaked hair. Crowe suggested Jackman as Wolverine, but Singer went with actor Dougray Scott instead. Scott was all set to play Logan until the filming of his other film, Mission Impossible 2, got in the way. Scott chose to leave X-Men, and Jackman auditioned for the role during production. Jackman nailed it and went on to become a star. Number 2. Too tall. Wolverine's height is one of his defining characteristics. Logan is extremely short, standing at only 5'3" in the comics, which could explain some of his demeanor. His short stature makes him appear cooler because he never seems self-conscious about it. On the contrary, he's fearless and scrappy, taking on opponents many times his size, including the Hulk and the massive robot Sentinels. In the comics, he's not always drawn that short, but his height is part of him. That became an issue for Jackman. When Jackman arrived on the X-Men set, he encountered a new challenge. He was too tall. Jackman is 6'3" in real life. The studio was concerned that fans would reject a tall Wolverine, so they tried everything to make him appear shorter. They shot him from the waist up and at high angles during filming, and other X-Men cast members even wore platform shoes to give them height over Jackman. In the end, audiences didn't seem to mind his height, and he's been allowed to be a tall Wolverine ever since. Number 3. The cameo. Marvel's shared cinematic universe concept was launched with a cameo from Nick Fury in 2008's Iron Man, which led to the Avengers. But it wasn't the first attempt. Sam Raimi directed the first big screen adaptation of Spider-Man in 2002, ushering in a new franchise for Sony. 2 years earlier, X-Men had been one of the first successful superhero films, paving the way for Marvel's subsequent success. Hugh Jackman revealed in a 2013 interview that they had planned for him to have a scene in Spider-Man, which would have been a brief walk-on or cameo that linked the X-Men and Spider-Man universes, but it didn't seem to happen because the timing wasn't right. There was apparently a disagreement about where the Wolverine costume was at the time, as well as a problem with the rights. Fox owned the Wolverine rights and would have charged Sony too much for the brief moment. Even so, it would have been cool. Number 4. Multiple endings. The X-Men Origins Wolverine after-credits scene was fine, but it turned out that the version most of us saw wasn't the only one. Before the film's release, director Gavin Hood revealed that they had filmed several secret endings for the film, and that they would include them in the print sent to theaters, so that different audiences would see different endings. That never happened, but the various endings were filmed. The majority of those who saw the film in theaters saw Stryker walking down the street and being apprehended by soldiers for the murder of the general he had killed. Another ending on the DVD showed Wolverine in a Japanese bar, where someone asked if he was drinking to forget, and he replied that he was drinking to remember. In another version, we returned to the 3 Mile Island and found Weapon 11's head in the rubble. His hand began to crawl towards the head as his eyes opened and he said, "Shh," indicating that he was still alive. Creepy. Number 5. The Claws. Filming Wolverine has always been difficult because he is supposed to be wearing razor-sharp metal claws, which is difficult to do both practically and safely. Avoiding the metal claws has never worked. CGI claws are used in some scenes, such as X-Men Origins Wolverine, but they don't look quite real. This is why Jackman wore real metal claws while filming. This has caused major issues because Jackman has stabbed several people, including himself, with his claws over the years. In the first X-Men film, Jackman was filming the Mystique fight scene with Rebecca Romijn's stunt double in the Statue of Liberty when he accidentally stabbed her in the arm. He claims he freaked out, but the stunt double yelled, "Yes, I've been stabbed by Wolverine!" Later in life, Jackman became more cautious about hitting other people, but he has repeatedly cut his own thighs on the follow-through. That's it for today. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you never miss out on any future content we'll produce for you guys. We're signing off now, but we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.